I grew up in a do-well, do-good household in Southern California. My parents were very engaged in politics and in the life of the city. My dad revered President Kennedy. His famous charge to ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country infused the lessons my dad taught me growing up. And he taught us it's important to make a positive contribution in life. My dad used to have us read excerpts from Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech at Passover every year. When I graduated from Harvard with an interest in politics, I went to work in the Clinton White House. I was an intern. I quickly learned that there were two things that could stop everyone in the building cold: the president walking into the room and the news channel that was on every TV in the White House reporting on what was happening in the building. What was said on the TV could change what was happening inside the White House. Now, when I was in the White House, I helped plan events around welfare reform and then the crime bill. And just out of college and pretty idealistic, I kept thinking that these important policies weren't getting the coverage they deserved. And I thought the news organizations were spending way too much time on noisy political dramas like expensive haircuts and who's flying in the president's helicopter instead of on these life-changing policies. But the noisier topics were probably better for ratings. So I resolved to become a TV reporter and get to the White House so I could properly cover these important stories. And looking back now, I think that my purpose has always been to explain what is really going on in a way anyone can understand so we can all hold people in power accountable. The journey was not easy or a straight line. I started out as a reporter in Florida and had to do everything, including sourcing, writing, recording, hosting, and editing my own stories. I spent my late 20s covering local news and then my 30s working overnights and paying my dues. When I got to the network, I worked overnights and early mornings. There was lots and lots of travel, sometimes all year long. And while my friends were out having fun, meeting their partners, having kids, I was singularly focused on getting to the White House. There were a lot of challenges along the way. Sometimes I was told I wasn't a fit for the White House because my voice was too feminine. That happened. The truth is I have a pretty deep voice for a woman, or that I'm too physically petite to look good in front of a building, or that I need to be older, though men younger than me were covering the White House. I heard just about every excuse in the book, but that just made me more determined to get there. Then the call came. Quote, "Our White House correspondent got a promotion. We have a sudden opening at the White House. Please get to Washington." But I also understood that it wasn't really my job. They were auditioning others for the role, so I knew not to get comfortable. I worked really hard and I got to stay. I became the junior reporter at the White House for ABC News, and that was a dream come true. Over time, it became clear that as the junior reporter, there were limits. And so I continued the grind and eventually became the Chief White House Correspondent for CNN. I covered the Obama campaign and the Obama White House, and it was amazing. But also during that time, I turned 40 and I saw that I had 3 Blackberries, didn't own a house, didn't have a boyfriend, and I felt like I didn't have a life, or not the life I wanted. On top of that, I wasn't doing the news the way I believed it could be done or that I wanted to do it, and there wasn't a model for me to follow. I sought advice from so many people, and a lot of them cautioned, don't leave the White House because everybody wants the job you have. But the advice I heard was from a few people who said there's something else for you, and you can't find it if you don't leap. And that's when I jumped and took my leap of faith. I had this belief that there was a different way to do news, to inform rather than trigger panic or anxiety. What if I could do the news, I wondered, with clear, unbiased information to reflect more diverse perspectives, to empower the audience? So I got on my phone and I started doing the news every day from my house and launched News Not Noise, fulfilling my purpose. Then the pandemic hit. What I'd started in my living room became the new normal for everyone. I was already on the phone working to provide clear information during a very confusing time. I have been humbled by the support I received from the News Not Noise community, which most importantly proved that people want News Not Noise. They want information told clearly and to be empowered to do well, do good.